Now up front tonight, California Democrat Loretta Sanchez, who serves on the Homeland Security Committee in the House. And Congresswoman, good to have you with us. I mean, you just heard that story, and it's impossible to watch those stories. And even if you're of the mind of just send everybody back, to not be moved by a father who's speechless and that he's finally seeing his family, by a son who doesn't even remember his father. But yet the story here is a family being able to cross the border because other family members had crossed the border before, and it seems a very difficult cycle that clearly there seems to be people crossing this border because they know others who have, and they don't think that they'll get caught.
Well, certainly the fact that we are apprehending so many of them means that they are getting caught. I mean, not only have we built more walls, in particular on our southern border, we've got significantly more border patrol there now, and the fact that we are apprehending them means that we actually are getting to them. So then the question becomes, well, what do you do, especially if they're unaccompanied minors? Some would say, and I might say that too, if you can reunite them with their families, if their families are in the U.S., maybe you leave them here. If they're back in Guatemala or some other place, maybe you reunite them. And that's why we need to have these judges. One of the things that the president has asked for is more money for these judges so that there can be a day in court for these people to plead their case as to my husband's here, or, it would be extremely dangerous for me to go back. And that's what the president has asked for. He's asked for more money for a law that was actually passed by the Congress. And so many of these people, my colleagues, are saying this is terrible, he's not obeying the law. Well, in fact, he's trying to obey the law. He's trying to give these people some judicial review.
And obviously, the Senate had passed the reform, the House didn't. I mean, you raised that point very fairly. But I guess the question is, it's hard to tell exactly from what he's saying what is the problem, because when he talks, on the one hand, he's saying, I've deported more people than anybody else. I have more border agents than anyone's ever had before. I'm incredibly tough on immigration. But then he's saying, wait, I need more money because I need more agents. So what is it? It's working? I mean, what's he trying to say? That's what I don't understand. He's trying to say, I'm doing it right, but I need more money to do it right.
Well, he has, one of the things that my Republican colleagues, and I know because I've sat on Homeland Security, one of the things they've said is, listen, we will consider immigration reform. We'll consider what to do with the people who are already here. We'll consider a plan for the future of how people can come and get jobs. But the first thing you need to do is to secure the borders. Well, we've spent a lot of money and time and effort. We've put a lot more people on the border, in particular, as I said, the southern border. And the fact that we are apprehending these people, it is there. We have done it, but they have refused to move on to one of the real issues. That now that we've made the fences, now that we've made the border secure, how do we make the gate a little bit wider so that people who want to come here for work, and clearly our economic situation suggests that there is work for them here, those people who want to come, how do we get them the visas? How do we make the programs? How do we make those people who've been here for 25 years and are part of our community? There are deacons in our church, they're working in our restaurants. How do we give them the paperwork they need to? In order to do that, we need this vote on the House floor.
All right, and of course it's a tough issue because some of those jobs, you're dealing with a United States economy, still in economic duress, with people who also desperately want jobs, and I know that makes it a lot more complicated. But before we go, I wanted to ask you about the other breaking news story tonight. What is your view? What do you say to your House Republican colleagues who now are saying that they are actually going to sue the president for what they say is a violation of the Constitution because he didn't consult Congress before he made changes to his health care law, of course the health care law that they themselves passed?
Well, the answer to that is I've actually had discussion over the last few days in private with some of my Republican colleagues, and many of them have said, look, if this is a political move, we can't seem to get traction in other places. Really, the move might be to impeach the president, but they've decided to go through a court system. I think it's all for show. I think it wastes a lot of time and a lot of effort instead of looking at a way in which to work together to make the Affordable Care Act better. They're actually just going out on a political ploy.
All right, Congresswoman, thank you very much. It's good to talk to you tonight.
Thank you.
And up front next, the terrorist group